Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm over on the Welker Farms map, just a single player. I did some stuff off screen, and I'm gonna get in this 520 Steiger, and I'm gonna head over to the manure heap that's over by the grain sell point, and I already got a manure spreader loaded up, and I want to get some manure spread on the field that I've got a Courseplay worker on right now. So let's head over there and get hooked to that spreader, because I got a hired worker doing some tillage on field 1. Let me bring that up real quick. How about here? So yeah, I got a hired worker on field 1 here, and I'm gonna start getting this spread with some manure, and then I'll cultivate it in. That'll give us at least the first fertilization state, and then when it's time to start planting this, because I want to plant this field in beans, we'll already have one fertilization state done, and then we'll only have to go back and spray at least one time after it's planted. So let me get rid of this map here. We're gonna head over there first. There's a giant heap piled up over there. There's a wheel loader over there to load the spreader up with, and yeah. As that guy's working, he can keep going. He's probably still got a couple hours before he's done, and at least if I can get some of this done here on this recording, that'll help. You know, these are pretty big fields, especially when you're just by yourself. I got the planter up here on the right. It's already set up. It's already full of seed and fertilizer, but it'll be a while before we can plant. Ground temp is high enough, or it's warm enough to start planting, but I don't want one Courseplay course to interfere with the other. So it's best to wait till the tillage operation is just about done before I'll probably do a Courseplay course for the planter, because it'll take a couple hours to, probably take 2 or 3 hours to plant that field. I could be doing other work around the farm. Primarily an all case farm. Normally I'm primarily John Deere, but I want to try to do something a little different. Over here there's a giant heap. This giant heap of manure that's being trucked in from an outlying farm. Get hooked up to this this manure spreader, and we're gonna head over to the field and start spreading the good news. More like political promises. That's what we're gonna spread. Political promises. I'll set up a GPS course and get everything running on GPS. So I'll just pull here to the field. There we go. We got our A line. You only got to go about 15 meters, it says. Set your B line. Let's go into the menu. Make sure that we're got our width set. We don't want to do an offset, so we'll do no offset. I'll pull the lines up so you can see it. Snap terrain angles on. I want to move this line over, which is left alt page up, and it'll bring the line over to the edge of the field. And I'll just run with that. Just work this big old stagger. It's nice because I got a joystick, so I can move everything around. I got my GPS mapped to the buttons. Lock our AB line on. I wonder why it said I had to oh, there we go. Alright. Spreading. It's not too bad. We'll hop in the cab. I prefer to be in the cab anyway. But rock this out for a little bit. Try to get some of this done. It's such a big field. I'll see how much I can get done in this episode. I don't normally run with the GPS lines on, you know, but this is just for visual reference, I guess, for everybody to see what's going on. Looks like our hired workers, our Courseplay course is doing pretty good. 12 mile an hour seems a little slow, but that's alright. Shouldn't take too terribly long. I mean, it'll take a couple hours, but I'll only get maybe a quarter of it done. Got a 620 quad track, pulling a Kinsey high-speed tillage implement. Hopefully he gets turned around before we get up there. He's moving at about 9 miles an hour, so he's been at it for probably an hour and 45 minutes or so. He's probably still got about 2 hours left to get this field done. Let's get down to this this other end, and then I'll probably zip over to the narrower section of the field, start crisscrossing back and forth there. Obviously you can see that I own all the fields. I only did that because I cheated. It is what it is. But as you can see, I got set up for seasons. We're on day 4. I kind of fast forwarded time because I was just getting things set up and getting the farm basically set up. I would like to do a cattle operation of some sort. Not sure if I'm going to do beef or dairy. But turn this line off. Turn around here. Get locked back on this line. Fire this old girl up. Wonder why it seems to miss just a little. That's That's alright. At this end of this row, I'll probably adjust it down so that the spreading width is quite a bit less, so that there is some overlap. Normally it doesn't really matter, you know, when you're spreading manure in real life, you know, if you miss a little 6-inch or foot section, you know, it's not the end of the world, but I'm doing it for the fertilization state anyway, so I want it to overlap so that there's not strips in the field that have fertilization missing. So I get to the end here, turn this off. Oh, so if we're at 55, 56, so let's try that. Turn that GPS off. Turn around, get the line lock back on, and we'll pull up and see how it is now. Looks like it's missing just a little bit. So we definitely narrowed it down some, but I want to drop it down so that there's no overlap. We'll drop it down one more. Let's try that. There we go. Hop back in the cab. Now we're cooking. Let's see how that's looked. Yeah, that looks much better. Much better. I've got the usage turned down just to save on the amount of trips back and forth to the heap. But what I might end up doing is I'm going to turn it up some. I'll turn it up to the max. Just so we can, just so you guys can see that loading operation happening at least once. Pretty good with a loader, seeing as the fact that I got you know, an actual steering wheel and joysticks to run the boom arms and stuff. So there we go. I wish this moved a little quicker, but that's alright. Yeah, now we're using material pretty quick, which would be more realistic. Normally when you spread manure in real life, you don't normally have a manure spreader this big. It's normally just a small tandem axle, and you only get, you know, short passes out of it because you burn it up so quick. I guess it all depends on how fast you're running the PTO and how quickly you use the manure up in the spreader. I don't think we got enough for one more pass yet, but let's try to burn it all up. Burn it up. Spread that poo. Nice. Moving along pretty quick. Animation looks real good. This tractor sure does rock around quite a bit. If this was real life, man, this thing would beat you up. You'd have to have the seat set fairly soft to take some of that jarring out of it. Can we make it to the end of the field? Just barely. Alright. Let's go load this thing up again. Load her up with some more poo. Excuse me. Give me a minute to get back over to the heap. We'll just run along the edge of this field. I don't think there's a shorter way to get there. It'll only take a minute to run over there, get this girl parked up, and start loading it. Thank goodness we don't have to spread lime on this field. Whew. But it needed to be plowed, and I use that high-speed disc to plow because it goes a little quicker. And I really haven't found a modded plow that works well. Everything I found thus far just gets it's really wonky or really narrow, you know. And the end game is, you know, they're moldboard plows. People in the U.S. haven't used moldboard plows for I don't know how long. I mean, there's still some farms that use it because that's what they have, and, you know, and they're very small operations. But, you know, when you're running big acres, it's usually no-till. I wish you could get rid of this pedestrian traffic. Get pulled up here. Shut this down. Hop in the loader here. I can do it one of two ways. I've got the steering set to one joystick, and the other one I can run the boom up and down. How about we go outside the cabin? This way a little bit. Get pulled over to here. Got that high dump bucket on there. It doesn't take much to fill it up, though, I'll tell you that. I should actually probably use a silage / manure fork. Maybe that's what I'll do. Because at least there you can get a bit more in it. Why is it being so wonky? I got enough money, so that's what I'll do. Is I'll just go buy. I'll buy one real quick. And 60. See, it's 6250, which is I think like, and that's 5. So yeah, we'll get this one. Buy that one. We'll go rock over to the store. Let's go dump this off here real quick. Don't need this bucket because we'll get quite a bit more done with that silage / manure fork. It's got a little bit better capacity to it. This shop's just right across the street here, so it's not like we gotta go far. Wheel in here. Rock around behind the building. There she is. Get her picked up. Head over there and fold her up. See, that wasn't so bad. Don't want to run that guy over. Open up here. Alright. Should be able to make a better dent in it this way. Oh yeah. It's basically double the amount. It's almost like I should have a ramp or something over here, because it sure doesn't lift it as high. And I put those Nokians on there because it raised the machine up quite a bit higher. Maybe that's what I'll do. I know that I have, I'm pretty sure I have a ramp in here. Thought I did. Maybe I don't. No, I don't. I don't have one. Trees. Swimming pool. Oh man, I thought I had a ramp. And I want to go and like terraform the ground to make a ramp, so I'll just have to deal with it. Just have to deal with it. Let's get this girl fired up so that we can show we're at 50%. So there we go. Now I can at least see the fill level in there on my inspector. Probably a couple more scoops and should have it full. I'll have to remember that. I need to put a ramp in here. So I can make this job go a little smoother. there's some in the in-game mod hub anyway, so not like I gotta go looking for one. Yeah, dropped a little. One more scoop. Probably. Oh, stop spilling. Well, that only put us at 85%. We gotta do one more. 1.5, maybe. Alright. %. Yeah, it's only going to take a partial, but we'll fill it up. There we go. We'll dump this back on the pile. That thing up. Let's go spread some more poo. All right. 54 tons, almost 55 tons it'll hold. I'm not quite sure why Mapper's Paradise decided to make people walk in this, in this Welker Farms map. I just don't get that at all, but who am I to question? What do them Europeans know about American map making? Not really sure. That guy's doing pretty darn good. I almost wish you could load the manure in like some sort of like belt auger type wagon, but and then you could just take it out to the field and fill it up then, but oh well. Get this GPS line locked on. Start spreading the good news. Looks good. When I get to the end of the field, I want to check how it's doing. It should be 1 fertilization state, and then when we run the planter across it, that'll put us to 2. But I just want to check. I don't think it does 2 fertilizations with this. That's part of the reason why I want to have a dairy operation, so I'm not relying on just a pile. I can load from the farm, both manure and liquid. Okay, let's see here. Let it say, yeah, it just does 1. Just does 1 fertilization. Shouldn't take too long to get this done. I mean, this Courseplay course is making a pretty good dent in there on that. I mean, this is like the biggest field on the entire map anyway. So, and when I go to harvest this, it'll be multiple combines, 2 combines running 60-foot headers. So, and I'll convoy them, quite a distance apart, and I'll set up a Courseplay course to unload them back to like a mother bin, and then I'll probably do a Courseplay course to run it from the field bin to the grain leg back at the farm. Get this going. Still got a ways to go yet. I might end up just turning down the usage here. And then once we get to the end of the field, I might just hire a worker on this and let him go to town for a while and see what other kind of mischief we can get into. At least maybe give you a quick farm tour before we end this episode. So I'm just gonna hire this guy. I don't think it'll let me. It won't. Well, I can always come back to this. So I'm gonna do one of the things that I don't normally like to do, and that is teleport over, but we'll get in the old farm. Oh, we'll get in the farm truck here. Got my anhydrous tank set up, liquid fertilizer station set up. Got the grain leg set up. This silo off to the right, that is actually a composting silo for silage. These are multi-fruit bins, so I can put just about anything I want in there. Behind the liquid fertilizer tanks is my lime production facility, and all you got to do is just put some water in there and it produces lime. I got my 60-foot headers behind the shop. Inside here we got a 9240 and a 7240 case combine. Got a 380 with tracks on the rear, big shop. Got another farm pickup. Got my big Krone Swadro. I got my Salford cultivator with my anhydrous tanks on it. New Holland mower. Got my farm horse, my JCB fast track. We got a big bud. We got the big brute here from the Welker map. That's our sprayer. We got a big bud 450. That's hooked to the cultivator. And then as you've seen, we passed by. Got the big bud 727. That's hooked to the planter. A couple of trucks, a couple of semis. I got 2 tankers. This one I brought fuel from the production facility over here, and this is a global company mod by Stevie. Lets me store all my fuel right there on the farm. Got my snowplow, since we're using seasons. That's pretty much the farm tour thus far. I went and took the tree destroyer and got rid of all the trees around here and put some gravel down. I'm not done setting the farm up yet, but I only had so much money to work with. So I think on that note, I'm going to end this episode right here. And I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. And thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.